friends. Welcome to Bronze Medal Moms, the podcast where we aren't going for gold, we're going for bronze on the daily. I'm Amy.
And I'm Amanda, and we are here to remind you that you don't have to be perfect to show up, survive, and even thrive in motherhood.
Hey, Bronze Medal Moms. Last week, Amanda and I were on holiday break, so we re-released one of your all-time favorite episodes, the dinner time episode, because let's be honest, that one still hits every single time.
Oh my gosh, yes. I was listening again like, wow, we were really in it. Like dinner time chaos never goes out of style.
It is timeless, no matter how old your kids are. But this week, we are back with a brand new episode, and we are sitting down with Jennifer Haas, the author of the brand new gratitude journal, Chasing Sunshine.
And this conversation was so good. We're talking about gratitude in real life, not the Pinterest perfect version of gratitude, especially for moms who tend to live in the lack instead of in the good.
Yes, exactly. It's how gratitude can actually shift your mindset, your parenting, and your day to day without adding one more to do onto your plate.
So grab your coffee, your gut health drink, or maybe a little something stronger if you're listening at night, and join us for a really grounding, encouraging conversation.
And as always, don't forget to subscribe, share with a fellow bronze medal mom, and leave us a review. Now let's get into it. Hey friends, welcome back to Bronze Medal Moms. I'm Amy.
And I'm Amanda.
And today we're chatting with a dear friend, someone who embodies what we talk about every week on the Bronze Medal Mom podcast, giving yourself grace, finding purpose in the chaos, and celebrating those small wins. Our guest, Jennifer Haas, is the founder of a beautiful nonprofit that does incredible work in our local community that she's going to talk about. But she's also the author of a brand new gratitude journal called Chasing Sunshine that's all about helping women shift from this lack of gratitude to living in gratitude.
And we've said it before, it is so easy as moms to focus on what's missing. The messy house, the forgotten permission slip, the spouse who loads the dishwasher wrong again. But when you shift that focus to gratitude, everything, even the way you feel, it just feels lighter.
It does. And so that's what Jennifer's here to help us unpack today. So welcome, Jennifer, to Bronze Medal Moms.
Thank you guys for having me. I am so honored to be here. I love sharing my love for gratitude and all the things. So I am very excited to be here today. Thank you.
Yay, we are excited to have you. But before we dive right into all of these amazing things you do, can you tell us just a little bit about yourself for our listeners? Because I know you are a mom, and so you can probably relate to a lot of things we talk about on this podcast.
Absolutely. So I am a mom of 3 boys. Their ages are 20, 18, and 12. And I'm married to my high school sweetheart. We have been married for, I always forget, y'all, like the years, like when people ask me how old I am and how long I've been married, I'm like, I can tell you the year, but I always forget like how many years.
Like
but I think we're at 23. I think we're at 23 years.
Okay.
And I am a former teacher. I used to teach full time in the Catholic school setting. I also taught in public school, realized that was not for me because they had too many rules. And then I shifted over to teaching in the Catholic school where I had a little bit more freedom to do what I thought was best for my students, which I love being able to have that freedom to do that. And I did that for a really long time. And then I found myself in a situation where I was able to retire from being a teacher before I was 40 years old and start over with a brand new life with brand new dreams and focusing on that. So knowing that there's always a chance and a time that you can shift and do something completely different. And it's totally doable. And I have had many of my dreams come true because I did that, made that choice. So
I love
that's like in a nutshell what a little background about me.
Well, and it's so much more. I know we said we could do like a podcast just on your kiddos alone, but
Right, just your boys.
yeah, I think that's when we met Jennifer. So her and I both, and Amanda as well, are really passionate about gut health. So we met around these kind of gut health supplements that we take. But also, Jennifer, didn't you and I first meet in person? I could be way wrong, at the Align conference.
I think so. Yeah. That might have been like one of the first times we met in person, even though we live in the same city-ish.
Yeah.
Really. Well, we do. We live in the same city.
We live in the same city, but anyone
yeah.
who knows Texas, everything's like 30 minutes away from everything.
I was going to say, don't you all like think Houston's like 50 miles wide?
It is.
Well,
Yeah.
it
Like,
is.
all
indeed.
Houston.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, but I think it was at a conference, and that is something that I have poured into myself, is doing things like that, like going to conferences and learning more, reading books, listening to podcasts, and just different things to try to grow myself organically and in a natural, like relatable way, so that when I do share things that I love, I'm sharing them from my heart and from what I've learned. And I always am shifting and changing, right? Like even in my gratitude journal that we'll talk about later, like that's 10 years in the making of things that I have developed from going to these conferences and being aligned with people like you in our wellness business, and learning and reading and listening to podcasts. So it's all about like continuing your education after, high school, college, whatever, you've done. I think we did meet at Align though. I think
we did, because I think once we met, you were already a yoga instructor. I think you'd already had your nonprofit. So I have seen a little bit of this, growth, but I think I came in right in the middle of your journey. I do want to, and I know Amanda and I want to talk a lot about this gratitude journal and gratitude in general, because I think it's such a big topic for moms and motherhood. But before that, I do want you to tell our listeners about your nonprofit, kind of what inspired it, what it does, how it's making a difference, because it's really unique. I really love it.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. So I am a product of a person that has a physical disability. And I thought there was always so many things I couldn't do. Like I can't do this because of my back. I have 2 rods that go down the length of my spine that stemmed from a genetic disorder that I have, but I had scoliosis and had to have the rods placed in at 17. And so I grew up as a dancer and had to shift like at a young age, at the age of 17, to change, like, okay, I'm not going to be a dancer in New York anymore. So I decided I'm going to go be a teacher. And that was something that I could do. So making the best of my situation. And if it wouldn't have been for my surgery, I would not have met my husband. I wouldn't have my boys. I wouldn't have gone to college. Like all these beautiful things came from that. And I think that was kind of the very beginning of me looking at the bright side, because it was such a traumatic thing to happen when I'm 17 years old, right? To have this surgery that was,
I was going to say, and that seems late too. I've had other friends that had to have the surgery with scoliosis, and I feel like they got it like, I want to say like 12, like before they hit puberty, and 17 is late. Like you're already doing all these other things.
Right. Yeah. And they typically do the surgery early, especially now. I was a unique case because my body was really late in starting puberty. And so they wanted to wait until I was grown. And actually I even grew even more after my surgery. Like I continued to grow until I think I was 22 when I was married, which is crazy. But my body is just behind. And so they needed to wait because they're like, there's absolutely no way we can do this yet. Her growth plates are not even close to like being connected, and it could have caused more harm. So we had to wait until that point. But yeah, it was just finding like looking to start, like, what am I going to do now? Like, okay, I can't obviously be a dancer in New York anymore. So I just made a shift, and I decided that I was going to become a teacher, and learning more about that and making the best out of the situation that I was in. So that was kind of the path that I was going to go in. And I was like, I'm going to be a teacher for the rest of my life, and I'm going to be old and wrinkly and be in this school. And God just, sometimes has other plans. Right. So my nonprofit grew from that state of me having these rods in my back and going into a yoga class one day by accident. I am the person that I am a certified yoga instructor now, but I was the person that thought yoga was stupid. I thought it was slow. I thought it was like against my religion, which is bizarre that I even thought something like that.
I do know people that have said things like that. And I'm always like, what?
Yes.
I don't understand.
I know. And I found myself in a yoga class by accident, and it happened to be a power yoga class, which is a pretty intense yoga class. And the instructor that was the teacher is like one of the hardest teachers at this gym that I was a member of. And I'm like, there's absolutely no way I can do this. And that was my mentality. Like, I can't. And And she like urged everyone, like, give it a try, stay in here, do this. And I fell in love with this practice and I learned more about it and I learned the history of it.
Mm-hmm.
I decided to get my certification in yoga. And by doing that, educating myself, that education thing again, right?
Yep.
I learned that your mat, your yoga mat, is your sacred space to believe whatever it is that you want to believe. If you want to be just meditating and praying to the universe or meditating to the universe, great. If you want to pray to God, great. If you want to pray to a different God, great.
Right.
It is whatever you want it to be. But it was in that space that my nonprofit was born. The last pose of yoga is called Shavasana, and it is a really calming, relaxing pose. You're laying on your back. And
that's my favorite pose.
I know, it's great, right? It used to be the hardest pose for me though, because I could not still my body and my mind because I was a busy mom. I was moving all over the place. I had 3 boys. I were all at 3 different schools at one time, like all over the city of Houston, which is funny. I was driving downtown. I was driving like down the street, and then I was driving like 30 minutes. So it was crazy. It was funny. I still don't know how I did it. I really don't. But we made it through.
Moms,
we did it.
We just do it. We figure it out.
Yeah. Moms just make it work.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I was in that pose, and this vision literally came over me of this nonprofit. And what our nonprofit does is we travel around the city, but also I've even had the blessing of traveling around the country now. But I travel around and I go to schools, nursing homes, and hospitals or other communities in need, and I provide free and accessible yoga to them. And our mission is to show all people, no matter their ability, age, or background, they can be united in movement, pursue a dream, and inspire other people. And I have this one student that I have taught, and she's like my highlight student. I want to say she's 101.
Oh my God.
And she was in a wheelchair, and she did the most beautiful warrior 2 ever. And it just goes to show she inspired me so much. She has no idea. She has no idea that her picture is all over my nonprofit and everything.
Oh, I love it.
So inspiring.
Tell us the name of the nonprofit really quickly.
The name is All the People.
All the People. Okay. I love that. Yeah. And we will put all the information in the show notes. But if someone is listening and they would love you to come out to their community center or their nursing home, can they get in touch with you? Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I do fundraisers. I try to do 2 to 3 fundraisers a year within Houston area. So if you live in the area, I have one that I'm hopeful there'll be a little story we might talk about later, an injury that I recently had. But I have an event that I'm supposed to be doing this Sunday before Thanksgiving in Houston. I'm hoping that's going to still be able to proceed and go through. We'll see. But yes, I do have events too to raise money for.
I love that. I love that. Well, we'll definitely put the link to your nonprofit and all the information in the show notes of this episode.
Well, and I love that your whole idea for a nonprofit, it really stems from just seeing a need and wanting to make it better, which I think all moms can relate to. Moms are problem solvers. We see a problem and we do what we can to fix it, and we pivot if needed. And I really love that came from something that really was personal to you, and now it's blessing so many people. That's awesome.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, thanks. I love it too.
And you just did it. We could do a whole episode on pivoting, right?
Yes. Oh my gosh. The amount of times that I've pivoted in my life, I don't think I could count.
I know, you and me both. Maybe we'll have you back and we'll do a whole episode on making the pivot. Because I do think a lot of times, especially as moms, we may want to make a pivot. We may want to try something new. We may have that book we want to write, or that little side gig we want to do, or that dream we have, but we feel stuck and trapped, not in a negative sense, but we feel like we can't because why? We're busy moms. And I think you are a great example of not doing that and showing that you can still be a great mom, and you're a very involved mom, I know, with your 3 boys, but you can still do your own amazing things too.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
So
I love that.
Let's talk about this. As moms, I know we joke. It's Amy and I, what we do here. We joke about the chaos, but it is easy to live in this sense of lacking, looking at what we don't have, what we didn't do, or what someone else seems to be doing better, heaven forbid, comparison is the thief of joy. That's what they always say. And it's so true. So what has helped you in this shift to a mindset of gratitude with your day to day?
Practicing it, literally, like practicing it, like going. I think from a young age, I was forced to kind of do that after my surgery and trying to figure out, okay, what can I do now, or what good can come of this. And then from then on, I just always naturally gravitated towards the good in something, even in the bad, especially in the bad, right? Because we have things that happen to us, that happen to our spouses, that happen to our kids, that happen to people that we love. And we look at it as like, oh, I can't believe that happened. This is terrible. This is horrible. And my shift, I mean, yes, of course things can be bad and horrible and terrible. And it's okay to think that, but you go through a process, right? It's almost like a healing process. And it comes so much faster the more you practice it, is looking for the good that came out of it. And an example I can use of recently for me, which was really hard as a mom, I had a fall in my backyard and I broke 6 of my ribs. Oh. And it was the most excruciating pain I've ever been through in my entire life. And as a mom that had 3 boys, all natural with no pain medication,
girl,
this was
get
worse.
It. That is gold medal status right there.
No, like I never thought that I would experience something worse. And this was, the pain was just unbearable, unbelievable. The first week, all I could do was close my eyes and breathe. And that's it. I couldn't watch TV. I couldn't, nothing. And I was able to immediately, like literally the day I came home from the hospital, I was in the hospital bed and I was making a post about, I am thankful for this and this. And I think I had a list of like 30 to 40 things.
Yeah.
It was insane. Like, I'm thankful for the nurses. I am thankful that my husband was there and he was able to help me. Just on and on and on. And I even had a friend that like messaged me and she was like, how can you be thankful for all of this like stuff when this horrible thing happened to you? And I'm like, that's just where my mind goes.
Right.
And my mind goes there
from practicing it, your mind will naturally go there.
Yeah. And it does. And yes, I had moments where I was like hugging my husband in the bathroom, crying because he had to wash my hair because I couldn't lift up at the time. I couldn't lift up my right arm to wash my hair. So he had to literally do the things that your mother only did for you as a baby.
Yeah.
My husband had to do for me. So literally, for better, for worse, we experienced that these past few weeks. But it was still, there was gratitude in that, like just so much. And I'm able to find that from practicing the gratitude. So I definitely urge people, like if it's something that you have never done before, to give it a try, because the more you practice, the more the gratitude is going to find you and the more you're able to spread with the world. And gosh, we need more joy and gratitude in this world, and love and joy and all of the things, right?
If that is,
yeah. And moms are the ones to do it. I mean, because people listen to moms, like people listen to moms and teachers and nurses. I feel like they just they listen. Yeah.
But I think moms carry the load, and that's what Amanda and I talk about a lot. Moms carry the load of the household. They carry the mental load. And so I love that the story you shared is that it's a good reminder that gratitude doesn't mean you're pretending everything's perfect. You don't have on, fake rose-colored glasses, but you're also not living in the negative and forgetting to notice all the good stuff that's also already there. And I will 100%. Say, like Amanda said at the beginning of the episode, and boy, I am guilty of it, because I talk a lot about the mental load just in my family, my marriage. That's just our one kind of sticking point. Women hold this mental load. And I think because of that, because we're already thinking and doing all the things, it's easy for us to focus on, like Amanda said, I love my husband. You've heard me talk about Steve on this podcast a lot. He loads the dishwasher like a drunk monkey. I like to load it like an engineer, and it drives me crazy.
Chris loads our dishwasher like he's going to kill me. All the knives are pointing up, as sharp as possible. And I was like, how are you trying to kill me? What are you doing?
No, he just wants you to cut your hand when you reach into.
Just every time someone's going to cut their hand.
Well, so it's easy though to get caught up in like, oh my gosh, he did it again. Like there's water everywhere. Nothing got clean, instead of maybe, okay, he loads the dishwasher.
He loads the dishwasher.
Right. So I think it's easy, or moms to be like, oh my gosh, my kid's room is a mess, or the kid forgot this and the kid didn't do that, and my house is a mess. The neighbor's house is great, but my house is dirty and I can't seem to catch up. And I think we have this inner dialogue a lot, which just adds to our stress. So I think that's where your journal, especially for moms or women who don't already practice gratitude, like I think you were able to go there so quickly because it's a practice for you. And so I think that's where your new gratitude journal comes in, right? So it
Yep.
helps us get into a practice. So
Yeah.
tell us kind of how it came to life and how
Yeah.
moms can like use this new gratitude journal.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Absolutely. Okay. So I have tried different gratitude journals like all the years. Like I
Tell,
loved, you
can,
know,
can you tell us, sorry, just starting like in case our listeners have never even, they don't know what a gratitude
don't know
journal
what it
is
is.
at all. Yeah.
True. That's true. What if you don't know?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Okay. So, like, if you're just baseline gratitude, so mine has a lot more than just gratitude in it, but that was like kind of where it was born from. And I will tell you the full title in a minute. But it's basically just writing, like some gratitude journals that I have done. It's just simply, it can be 1 minute, just writing something you're thankful or grateful for that day.
Okay.
And then do it again the next day and the next day and the next day and the next day. So I'm going to read you the full title of mine, but it is Chasing Sunshine, a gratitude journal celebrating small wins, tracing big dreams, and living your best life. And this is what it looks like.
Oh,
Very cute.
yeah, it just came. I love
Yes.
it.
Yes. I just opened the box last night, literally. I was so excited
exciting. So
to open the
listen, it
box.
is hot off the presses.
Hot off the press. So mine has a lot more than that. I have done some gratitude journals where all you do is write your gratitude. I have done some that have like all this extra stuff that I'm like, I don't even like, it takes too much time. So I wanted something simple that would be effective. So the way that my gratitude journal works is the very first lines are, it says gratitude, and you write 5 things that you're grateful for in the past 24 hours. That part is important because when you ask a lot of people, oh, what are you grateful for? My family, my health, my house, my kids. And I'm like, no, I know you're thankful for those things. You're moms, and I get it.
Right.
Yes. But let's be specific. I am thankful that I had 10 extra minutes this morning, and I was able to have a cup of coffee in peace.
Love
right?
that.
Like very specific and very much
I am
in
thankful
the
that
moment.
Amazon package actually showed up on time.
Exactly. Yes. Things like that. Yes. And be very specific and write them down. And what I love, I have saved all of my journals. So I can pull out a journal from 5 years ago and flip it open, and I can look and see on November 11th in 2022, what was I grateful for that day?
Wow.
Right. And it's cool to like reflect back because you remember.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I was grateful.
You know what? It's so funny you bring that up. So I just, you know, I just have journals. Like, and I'm not saying like there's any rhyme or reason to it, just like paper together.
Yeah.
And I've tried to start my own, like I've never had a gratitude journal where it's like, now do this, do this. So I just write things out. And I happened to find one just the other day. And it said, so grateful for Rue's kindergarten teacher. Her name is Kaylee Reynolds now. I'm shouting her out because she's so flippin' amazing. It was 2020 and Rue had lost her first tooth and there was no school. And she came to our window with a big tooth out of Rue's bedroom window and celebrated with her like by screen.
Yeah.
And I only bring this up because then I took a picture of it and I sent it to her 5 years later. And I was like, hey, on this day 5 years ago, I was so thankful for you. And it made her day again. So I was like, what a cool thing to remember what you were thankful for years ago and then still be able to bless somebody with that like positive thinking that day. I thought it was very cool.
Oh, that's beautiful. And that's exactly my point. Like that was you finding gratitude in a moment where you could have been like, gosh, that really stinks that she wasn't at school and she didn't get the little tooth box treasure chest and she did this and this didn't happen. But instead you were like, look at this. Her teacher came out and like celebrated this thing that was so amazing, right? Like that's you exactly doing.
It was very, very cool.
I love it.
I was raised by a father that was very adamant with the power of positive thinking. So, and we joke about with all my gut health issues, he used to tell me that I could think myself out of them. And I was like, I don't think that's true.
Oh,
But it is a really good, once you learn how to do it,
mhm,
it's even the simplest things you can say,
mhm,
yeah, but
mhm.
we're all together. That's what's
Yeah,
good.
a
Even though the
hundred percent.
situation's crappy, we're together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that gratitude part, that's just the very first piece of it. And then the second piece is recognizing yourself for something well done in the past 24 hours. As moms, specifically as
Ooh.
moms, we do not shout ourselves out. We can shout our kids out with
Mhm.
our eyes closed, blindfolded underwater, but with like ourselves, we can't do it, right? And
So
I
true.
want women, I want moms every day to write something down that you have done good in the past 24 hours. So you write that down.
I feel like that
And
alone would be a
it's
huge mind shift for
huge.
so many moms.
Yes,
Yes, because
big
that's
time.
hard.
It is
That's
Yeah,
hard.
hard. Like I want
you're
the
right.
moms
Moms
listening
don't do
right
that.
now. Like I want you to think of something right now that you did well in the past 24 hours. And maybe write it down. Like if you're driving right now, don't do it now. But like go write that down because you need to shout yourself out for that because that's amazing. Y'all are amazing. So
That's
make
so
sure
good.
you do that.
Yeah.
So that's the next step.
What's
And then the
next?
next part is your dreams. So I have a dreamcast meditation that I provided for everyone that gets the journal and they can listen to it. But I also have a written one and they write out 10 of their dreams after they listen and compile like all the stuff for the next. And I like to do like 5 to 10 years long, and you write them down as if they've already occurred, as if they've
Ooh.
already happened. And
Okay.
this is something that I have done for this piece of it, probably for the past 5 years. And some of my dreams that have come true are writing a book, speaking on stage at our convention for the company that we represent, and that is in front of 8,000 people.
Yes, you did.
Let's
I was
see,
there.
start my nonprofit. That was one of my things. I mean, there's more, but those are three big ones that come to mind. And I wrote those down every single day that I did them. And when you do that, you trick your brain into thinking that they've already happened, which is really cool little mind shift thing that can happen. And so when I did the one of the scariest things that a lot of people think that I've done was speaking on the stage in front of 8,000 people. They're like, "Were you so nervous? Were you so scared?" And I'm like, "No." And the reason I wasn't is because I had already imagined it, manifested it. Like I'd already been there. Like I knew what I had on. I knew what the colors were going to be. I knew what I was going to say. So when I got there, I'm like, "I've already done this. This is great."
I love it.
And so
Love
I
it.
wasn't nervous.
Yeah.
So that is the next piece. And then the piece under that is you're going to pick one of those dreams that you've written down and you're going to commit yourself to that dream today. You're going to commit yourself to achieving that dream. And so you write it down. I am committed to, like for me, I am committed to publishing a book. We'll use that one.
Mhm.
And the next piece is 3 action steps you can take today to move closer to that dream. And it's something small. Like if it's write a book, I sat down and I wrote for 30 minutes. If it's I want to get healthier, I went outside and I walked around the block. Like, what are 3 action steps you can take that day?
Yeah.
And so that's like page one. Like that's the page one. There's a little checkbox here for hydration, movement, meditation, and what's the other thing on here? Breathing. Making sure you're taking some
Breathing.
nice big breaths because we overwhelm ourselves a lot. And breathing techniques are really amazing for moms and kids and everyone in between.
Yeah.
So that is the front page. And then the back page is space to journal. It could be your own thoughts that you want to write, or if you join my community at I Am Chasing Sunshine, you get a journal prompt every single day. So,
That's nice.
and it's 90 days long. The journal is meant to be 90 days long. So there's 90 pages. And then you reassess after 90 days. You reassess your dreams, your goals, and you do it again.
I really like that it's 90 days, and you're probably gonna be like, that's not the intention, Amanda. But because I feel like if it was a year,
Mm-hmm.
I would start it and
Mm-hmm.
do day 1 and do day 2. And if I miss day 3, I'd get
Mm-hmm.
frustrated with myself and
Mm-hmm.
I'd stop because I'd be like, no, I'm not doing it in the right order and it's not the right
Mm-hmm.
day and all those things.
Mm-hmm.
Or if it's 90 days, like your 90 days might take 90 days. My 90 days might take 110 days.
They
That's
might.
totally
That's
okay.
true.
It gives you a little breathing room
Yep.
and a little little leeway of like,
Yeah.
did you miss a day? Don't print it. Just do it again.
Just start over. Start over. And I intentionally don't put page numbers, and I don't put day 1, day 2. Just put the date. Like, just write the date on there.
I love that.
And if you miss a couple of days, I've missed a couple of days. It's all right, guys. Like, there's never a wrong time to start over, start again, pick it back up, ever. So
I think that's huge, because I think it's so easy for moms to start something and say, this is what, I mean, it's the same as like when you start, a new health routine or something, and you go to the gym every day for a week, and then you skip and you're like, well, screw it.
Yeah, forget it. I'll just wait till January 1st.
And I have an all or nothing mentality, and it took me a long time to kind of break that mentality. And I would always put an end date to things. So if I had picked up the journal and been like, oh man, I have a whole year, but I've already messed it up here in the first couple of days, then I'm just going to quit instead of
100%. I would too.
Well, and I love too that you have goals in there, and that it is something you can do today, because so often, and this goes for everyone, but especially moms, we put things off when the kids are older, when the kids are potty trained, when the kids are in college, when the kids move out, right? If we do that, it probably won't ever happen.
And life could look totally different then.
Right, right. So
you might have a totally different dream.
Well, I want to write a book. That feels like a really big dream, a really heavy dream, a really hard dream. So I'm going to put it off. Well, no, you're just going to today write 10 pages.
Yeah.
You still may not publish it until the kids are done potty training, but look how many pages you have written just in 10 pages a day, or, breaking it into those kind of small chunks. I really like that. Yeah.
Well, and this is interesting. So I have always wanted to write a book, and here's the reason why. And this is not a plug for what I did, by the way. But I've always wanted to be like those index cards at the library, how they were all, I was like, wow, that'd be so cool that you could look up my name. And like, I don't even think they do that anymore at libraries. Yeah. It's all digitized. But somebody told me once that they're like, yeah, that's just having an ISBN number. That's just an ISBN number. That's all that is. And I went one day and I made this children's ABC coloring book on Canva or something. And I published it, and it has an ISBN number. I'm telling you, it filled that need. That was really all I needed.
That's so cool.
I didn't have to write a whole book. Like this thing that I had made, this huge thing that I thought, well, it's going to take years and years and years to do it. I did this tiny little thing one weekend, and that filled that need. And I have no desire to do it again. So, but I think that writing it down makes you realize like, oh, that is actually more achievable than
I can do that. Like I can write for 30 minutes today.
Right.
I can make that happen, or I can go walk around the block, or whatever it is. Like I can do that today. Right. And it's small, and that's why I want moms to know, because I know moms are busy. I'm a busy mom. Yeah. But start small, and if you do it every day, if you write the action steps every day and not make them overwhelming or big, like don't say, oh, I'm going to publish my book today. Like, unless like that's the very next step. Right. But like, don't say that, because yes, you're going to get overwhelmed, and let's take baby steps along the way. And eventually that big goal that you had committed yourself to is going to happen. I guarantee
you know what else is going to happen that I think is always the blessing and the curse of, being the mom, being the attention, the bearer of all the things. If you start finding this gratitude, if you start seeing these things, writing them down, your kids are going to do the same thing. Oh. And that's what you want for them.
My kids have done that, and I love it. Like my son, when I opened it, my youngest, because he's the only one that like technically lives at the house anymore, but he's like, Mom, can I have one? I'm like, absolutely. And my oldest, who's in college away, he's like, hey Mom, my friend wants to buy one, and I have another friend that wants to buy one, and I want to get one. And
oh, that's so sweet. I love that.
Like when your college kid is saying that, like that is just, I was like, oh, because you didn't
I
tell him to say
love
it,
it.
right?
Right.
Like, it made me so happy.
Well, but
And
and it means that
Amanda,
they're realizing the importance of
yeah.
doing that because they saw
Well,
your
and
example.
they see me and they've seen me doing that like forever. And sometimes they think I'm annoying. So like, Mom, do you ever like look at something and think it's bad ever? And I'm like,
Right.
of course I do. And they see that, but they see me automatically switch. Like, yes, this sucks. Yes, I'm pissed off. And then I take a
But
breath. That's where the breath comes in, because that
Right.
breath, and sometimes it takes 5 or 10 breaths. Sometimes it takes more, but eventually it comes, right?
Yeah.
It's there. It's right there. And Amanda, I want to say, touch on something you said. You talked about like that might have not have been my intention to make it 90 days. And it absolutely was, because
I love that.
I am
I was
ADD.
worried saying that you'd be like, no,
No,
90
no,
days.
no, you're spot on. So I am ADD and I like rarely will see something through all the way. And so I wanted to make it achievable. And also a big intention of this too is for moms, for people, whoever is using it, to revisit. If it was a year long, your dream a year from now, your dreams might be totally different. So
Right. I love
I
that.
want people to revisit every quarter and say, is this still my dream? Do I when I did the meditation, like, did I still visualize like this thing? And if so, keep it there. If not, if it's changed or shifted, or maybe you achieved it and you have to like up it or change it,
Right.
right? So one of mine was publish my book. Well, now that it's here, like, well, my journal, it's to get on the bestseller list. Like,
Yeah.
that's what I want to do. So things like that, like you just up it to the next level.
Well, let me tell you. So I have ordered Chasing Sunshine. It's on its way to my house. It is, on Amazon, guys, Amazon Prime. You can get it to your house in 2 days.
God bless
Yes.
Amazon.
But
Oh,
listen,
no.
Jennifer, confession. And I have gone to almost all of the same, professional development and personal development conferences you've gone to.
Mhm.
And they always tell you that we should journal and get your thoughts out on paper. I am not a journaler at
Okay.
all. I've tried
Okay.
and bought. In fact, you should see the
I find that
stack.
shocking because you always have fancy pens.
Well, I do love some notebooks and fancy pens, and
You have fancy pens.
I've written 2 books. However, look at this latest one I got. I got this in a mastermind. Our listeners can't see it, but I'm holding up another journal, a guided journal, that I got at a mastermind. I'm like, oh, that's great. The first 2 pages I filled out, and the rest are blank. That's what I did. So Jennifer, not to put you on the spot, but what
Okay.
is your best piece of advice for someone like me who I have Chasing Sunshine?
Mhm.
It'll be here
Okay.
on Thursday. It'll be here
Yes.
Thursday.
Yes. Yes.
What's your biggest piece of advice for me to do it
Uh-huh.
and not have it end up in the stack with the other ones that weren't filled out?
Okay. So I'm going to answer your question, but first
Yes.
I am
Yes.
going to tell you
Yes.
that when you get your copy, I want you
Okay.
to open it to page 162,
Ooh,
because your quote
I'm making
that
a
you
note.
gave me is
Oh.
highlighted on that page.
I did give
Oh,
a quote
fun.
to this journal.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
did.
Yes. Yeah.
So I can't quit until I get to my own quote.
Exactly. So you have to make it at least to page 162.
Oh, I forgot.
So
I
there's
said
that
that,
motivation
Jennifer.
for you right there.
Look at that. I totally forgot. Okay. Page 162.
What my advice is.
But what's your advice? Because
and
I
this
know
is
there's
something
listeners
that
out there. Yeah.
Yes, this is something you're probably familiar with. And if you're not, then you will be now. But is habit stacking. And do put your journal next to something or stack it with something you do every single day. I know that you walk every single morning.
You do know this.
I know
yes.
you go on your walk every single morning. I think you
This
have
is
your
true.
hydrate. I think
do.
then you go on your walk. And then I'm thinking maybe you have your cup of coffee if you have one. I'm not sure if you
Close.
do.
I go on my walk and then come back and have my hydrate. So I
Okay.
should put it
Okay.
next to my hydrate.
So set it next to your hydrate. And while
There
you're
you go,
sipping on your hydrate, because you are not going to forget your hydrate after your walk, I want you to sit down somewhere, the same spot every day, and have your journal there with a
Yeah.
pretty pen right there on top. And while you are drinking your hydrate, that's when you're going to do this. And
Okay.
finish, sip on your hydrate, and do this at the same time every single day. So that will force
okay.
you, and whatever you guys do, like, right, if it's your cup of coffee, if it's your,
Yeah.
you like to sit outside and watch the sunrise, if whatever, I recommend doing it in the morning just to get it, like, make sure you do it. But it
Yeah.
doesn't work for all people like that. Like, some people like to do it in the evening, like before bed.
Sure.
And if that's the case, then put it at your bedside. But sometimes people will forget about it. So you have to put it like, pair it with something. Like if you have a nighttime regimen, like maybe you do the skincare thing every night,
Right.
like put it with that. And then after you wash your face, you pick up your journal and you do your writing and you go put it back down, like next to your skincare or whatever it is. But stack it with something that you do every single day. And that will force you. And eventually it'll just become part of the routine and part of the habit.
Yeah. Okay. I love it. That's what I'm going to do.
So give that a try.
I do. I walk every morning and then I come back and I have my hydrate. And then, you know, if the day goes great, it's the same, but sometimes the day doesn't go great or, you know, it gets derailed.
And you have your hydrate like in a certain spot, I think in your kitchen,
I do.
right?
It is. It's in my drawer.
You can stack this like, you know, right there.
You're right. I'll keep it right there on the counter.
Copy. There is a hard copy that's going to be available, I think, starting tomorrow. It'll be little, you know, sturdy and pretty. And then I am going to be doing a premium copy with like a leather bound because this is my favorite old journal. And it's by Moleskine and it's I love like the leather feel to it. And so this is like filled out, it's done. Like it's filled out the same way that like, if you look at it, like that's exactly what I do like in my gratitude journal.
So that's something I wanted to tell our listeners too is, and then, I will ask you here for your little takeaway, but I do want our listeners to know that I know just because I know you and I've, you know, talked to you for a while about this, but you didn't just decide to do a gratitude journal without any experience. You've been working on this. You've used gratitude journals, you do journals. So I think there was a lot of, I don't think trial and error is the right word, but you really put a lot of thought into what is going to make this gratitude journal something people will actually want to use and is useful for them.
Absolutely.
It's not just like your cookie cutter.
And trial and error is not a bad word because I tried some things from this journal that I liked and I took some things from this journal that I liked and I heard this in this book or I read this in this book and I learned this at this conference and all of these things I've kind of like pieced together and made it my thing.
And you definitely practice what you preach. I'll tell our listeners out there. I definitely, like, I found out I was out of town, shocker, when you got hurt. And immediately I saw your post and thought, oh, bless it. Like it was your gratitude post from the hospital bed.
Yeah.
And again, not to say that you weren't also upset, but just to be able to live in gratitude. Like you definitely.
That's the thing I think that I know, Amy, you said this, but if you missed it, I want everyone to remember being in a state of gratitude is not faking perfection. That is not saying it's perfect. That is just saying I'm seeing the silver lining. So you're not switching your whole mindset to like, yay, sunshine and roses and everything is happy.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, no, life can still suck, but you can have gratitude.
Yeah. Yeah. And some people think that. They think that means you're ignoring it or you're pushing it off.
Right.
And like it didn't happen. And I tell my students in yoga this all the time. I tell them it's not like when you like something that's not serving you, like let go of something that's not serving you. Mm-hmm. And when I tell you to let go of it, when I tell my students to let go, I'm like, I'm not telling you to forget about it. I'm not telling you to pretend it didn't happen. I'm telling you, if it's not serving you and building you to a better person, we need to let that piece of it go. And we need to use it to learn, to shift, to pivot, and to move forward as a better version of ourselves. Because all of this is what helps me move forward as a better version of myself. Yes, this crappy thing happened. I'm going to tell you, it was crappy. It sucked breaking 6 ribs. It's real hard not being able to clean my house and see clutter all over the place. Yeah. But I'm grateful for the maid that came to clean it up. I'm grateful for my friends that have brought me food. I'm grateful for a friend that's coming over tomorrow to help me reorganize my pantry after my family has made a disaster zone out of it. I'm so grateful for that. And because I can't reach still with this hand. I can only go about high. So I'm not I can't reach up and grab something. And if something were to fall on me, whatever, all the things that I'm not supposed to do. I still can't drive, but you know, it's coming. It's coming. But I'm grateful for my husband who's able to work from home some of these days so he can drive me around. It's just, so nice. It sucks. Yeah. But this is what I'm grateful for.
Well, and I think you said it best too, that when you were talking about this journal for the moms, because I was thinking, how can a mom do this when a mom's already feels like she's barely keeping it together and it's super busy? But you already said, you're well, you're not thinking of everything that you're grateful for in your life. You're taking 5 minutes to pick one thing you're grateful for yesterday. I think everyone can do that.
Yeah. And I love the saying, something you did well. Ugh.
Yeah.
So many moms
And this
beat themselves up all the time, and they're doing a great job.
This literally does take me because I've done it for so long. Like I know what I'm writing now, and it takes me 5 minutes, you guys. So I mean, I know, and moms are like, but I don't have 5 minutes. I'm like, yes, you do. You do have 5 minutes, and this is going to make you a
Give
better
yourself
mom.
5 minutes.
This is going to make you a better mom because it's going to let you see the good. It's going to help you chase your dreams, and it's going to show your kids that that's important, and your kids will start to do it too.
When I do this, I guarantee I'm going to have all 3 kids looking over my shoulder, reading it, talking about it. It's going to be a family affair, which is a fine, good thing.
I love it. Well, Jennifer, thank you so much for being here. I love that you have, made gratitude both a passion for yourself, but also a practice. And you have turned it into this beautiful journal that I cannot wait to get for busy moms that we can actually do. And I will, Amanda knows we keep our Instagram page updated on things we're actually doing for the episode. So I will, when I get my journal, I will post it on there and I will keep everyone updated on if I actually do it. Yeah.
And you're going to do it.
Okay. So Jennifer, if there's one thing you hope a mom listening today takes away from the conversation, like what would it be?
So my hope is for moms to show all moms that it is never too late to start chasing your dreams. It's okay to start over. I don't care if you are 25, 35, 45, 65, never too late to start over and to chase your dreams. And I hope that you guys will follow our sunshine movement. And I also have a book that's coming soon as well. So be on the lookout for that.
Oh, yay. So we'll put it in the show notes. How can they, we'll put the link on how to order, but then do you have a website? Do you have an Instagram? How can they follow you?
So right now I am trying to funnel things through my Instagram, currently my new one for this journal and the book. And it is called I Am Chasing Sunshine.
Oh, okay. We will put that in the show notes too. And then if they follow you, that's when they can learn like the new book and anything else that's coming.
Yeah.
I love that. And it's a great reminder because I have reinvented myself many, many times. In fact, sometimes when I tell my story and it involves like crime scene and writing a book and gut health, people are like, wait, what? Huh?
Yeah. I get tired of people whenever I'm like, I used to do Christmas windows and I used to do, design watches and all that. Like, what? Why'd you do those things? Like, because it's fun. It's fun to reinvent yourself.
But once you hit 45, I've caught myself thinking, oh, it's too late. Like the ship has sailed. I can't reinvent myself again. So I love that is your one takeaway. And I'm going to take that away today because it definitely is a great reminder.
And friends, if this episode hit home for you, take 2 minutes today and just write down 3 things you're grateful for. Start small. Grateful you are alive and breathing can be the first one. The magic is in the habit.
Yes. And you can learn more about Jennifer's nonprofit, All for the People, and get her gratitude journal in our show notes of this episode. And don't forget to check out Bronze Medal Moms on Instagram and our merch site while you're there. Thanks, friends.
Yay.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for listening to our moms on Bronze Medal Moms. Don't forget to subscribe, share with your friends, and leave us a review. We'd love to hear from you. See you soon.